What are you expecting from the game on Saturday?
It'll be a difficult game. I think it will be, it's like any game, but Middlesbrough are very resolute. Don't give much away. I think they've conceded very few goals this season. So it's up to us. I think it's going to be another game where we're going to have to break another team down. We've got to find a way to do that. But also Middlesbrough, as we know, have players in there attacking threat or a Premier League side themselves. A couple of seasons ago, and found also last year that it's not an easy thing to do to bounce straight back up. So it's going to be a difficult game, but one we're ready for. I think the last two results have shown a different side to our game that we were looking for. And now we've got to go and see if we can be a little bit more clinical in the attacking sense as well.
They're as good as any side in the country, arguably, at what they do, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good. Tony's, as everyone knows, listen, Tony's been a really popular figure here. I hope he'll get a very good reception coming back. He completely, thoroughly deserves it. And when you've been in the game for as long as Tony Pulis and you've had as much success, you're going to be in for a difficult game. But we're at home. We certainly don't fear anybody. And it's up to us to make the run-in. And it's up to us to try to improve the home form a little bit. To go with away form. Just
a little bit of consistency, isn't it? Because performances on the whole, they've been more than decent.
Yeah, I think they've been good. I mean, in my opinion, you look at the Birmingham game. Birmingham have come, sat back, hit us with one counter attack, and we've had chances and not managed to take them. We've done exactly the same thing away at Bristol City, and people applaud you for it. And we probably attacked far more than Birmingham did. But it's all about the result, and the result gauges people's perception. But I think over the last 10 games, I actually think we've shown a real level of consistency. Last 5 games, I think we conceded 2 goals, so certainly started to get the defensive side right. Sometimes it takes a little bit hit on the other side, so now we want to find the right balance. And Saturday's a game in which we'll need to be at our best.
2 more games this side of the next international break, the final international break. It's important to get a bit more momentum, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean there is another one, isn't there, after Christmas? But I think the fact that there's 3 before Christmas just makes it difficult to get that momentum that we speak about. I think we're going into a period now where there's a lot of clear weeks to do some work. We've certainly had a good week this week doing some work, which is unusual for us because so many midweek games and the international games. We want to finish strongly up until this international break, and then of course afterwards, be a big opportunity to kick on where you've got the group together for probably 3 months, 4 months, which is a massive factor in this division. So we're starting to get there. We're getting close to where we want to be in terms of performances, not necessarily where we are in the league, but as we know, that'll come on the back of trying to do the right things consistently in games.
And the group's coming together. Sam Clickus, I know he stepped it up again this week. Is he anywhere nearer to possibly making a return?
Yeah, he's close. He's close, and I think again it's just whether we feel that it's best to chuck Sam into action quite quickly, or whether we're best to just say, you know what, we've had some good results, maybe we can just wait a little bit. I'm sure he wants to come back, and he's looked really good in training. He's trained this week and a little bit of last week, and the aim really is to keep him out there, whether that's games, whether that's training. He's going to need that 3 or 4 weeks of training load to just build that resilience up and make sure he stays fit, because he's a player we really want out there. He's a player we think can add a lot to what we've got. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
You said before it'd be like having a new signing coming back, but in the meantime, before he makes his return on the pitch, I'd imagine the players get that same feeling seeing him out in the training pitches as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think anyone who watches him sees that he's a quality player. You look at his career so far, and he's come up to a level the hard way, which I think is, I always like that, a player that's seen it. I've seen him a lot at Hereford in his early days, when you played at that sort of levels, you appreciate what you've got, and it makes you perhaps sometimes be a little bit hungrier. And I think also after this injury, be keen to get back out there and prove to everyone what he's all about, and I think the rest of the players, it can only help them, it can only spur them on to try and stay in the team when you see someone like Sam pushing hard to be back fit.
Are you nursing too many more injuries?
No, we picked a couple up this week after last week's game, but again, we'll see whether some of those players make it for the weekend.
Peter Etterbo, one of those who's missed the last couple, is he edging towards the return?
Yeah, Peter's pretty close, I think, but we've got 1 or 2 others that have just picked up little knocks, which I shall keep to myself for now.
It's quite common this time of year, isn't it? Especially with the weather changes and all those sort of things.
Yeah, look, I mean, most players will find that the amount of games you're playing, that you will find that sometimes you have little niggles. Some players can get through them. Some players find that harder. Some injuries you can play through. Some you put yourself further at risk. So we'll make good decisions. We've got a good enough squad to to be able to do that, and whichever side we put out will hopefully be good enough to win the game.